figure this out going live. So, yeah, I wanted to do this live video just because when it came to like Duke and Chargers, Lakers news, especially like Duke and Chargers, there really wasn't much stuff new to report. And then, yeah, there's a lot of Duke stuff, so that could have been a separate video, but I just don't have time right now just because I'm basically working every day with this new job. So it's like by the time I get home and there's always loud kids outside, and when that finally dies down, then it's already late to do a video. Yes, this is going up late live right now. What, it's like before 11:30, something like that. But I will try to do these a lot sooner during the day, especially when I can just get it out. Yeah, you're not gonna see any pictures. You're gonna see me like looking down and reading. But either way, the news will get out there and at least a couple of my thoughts here and there. So hopefully this isn't too bad. I'll try to still do like USC and certain other videos separately and kind of with some production, but either way, because I think those are a little bit more important, especially when it comes to views and all that stuff. So hopefully you enjoy this, and hopefully it's not too long of a live video. So to start with Duke, yes, when it came to their football game, yeah, they were losing badly, 20-0 in the third quarter to North Carolina, but luckily they were able to beat North Carolina 21-20. So yeah, they scored basically 3 unanswered touchdowns and were able to still get that victory. I know it was looking bad. Really wasn't paying attention at the time because by the time I came back, I was just more focused on the USC Wisconsin game where USC was down in that game too at halftime. Luckily, they came back to win that. But yeah, so I was like, all right, I'll take the USC victory. I don't need Duke to win, even though it is North Carolina. But it had been like 5 or 6 years that North Carolina football had beat that Duke football had beat North Carolina football, but they finally did it. Even Star Thomas, I want to say he's a second string running back, but he could be their third string. But he did step up. I think he even had the game-winning touchdown as well late in that fourth quarter. But he was the ACC running back of the week, and then I think when it came to something else, yeah, On3 put out like an impact of like a top 10 impact of transfers out there right now, and of course he made like the top 5 list on there too, so that was pretty cool to see for him. So yeah, great victory by Duke over North Carolina. Definitely very happy about that, and hopefully get some more victories. I know they play against a pretty tough team in Georgia Tech, who had that big upset against Florida State to start the season, but they kind of have been struggling themselves. So hopefully Duke can stay undefeated. I did not think of all of my football teams I follow, Duke or USC, which one would be undefeated right now, that it would be Duke. But either way, very happy about that, and hopefully can continue the winning ways with them. And then moving on to some other stuff as I try to focus without any glasses on. Yes, that 4-star combo guard, Caden Lewis, looks like he set up his Duke official visit for October 4th through the 6th, which I believe is this weekend coming up, and I think this Friday as well as the countdown to craziness for Duke. So both the men's and women's side will come out. They'll have their player intros and stuff and kind of have games against each other, at least the first and second team of their side. I don't believe the men and women play against each other, but either way, it'd be pretty cool to see a lot of them out there, and it's always a good time and stuff. So cool stuff to watch and everything, all their intros, them having fun, and all that good stuff. So looking forward to that. But we did hear some pretty bad news about one of their star freshmen, Patrick Ngangba. Looks like he has a foot injury and will be out indefinitely, is all it said. So hearing that, it usually means that it's going to be a pretty long time until he ends up returning to the basketball team. But hoping for the best in this situation. Maybe they get him back within a couple months down the stretch towards March Madness, and then he could be a big-time contributor for them. I know he probably isn't a one-and-done player, so I don't expect him to leave anyways with this injury after this season, but hoping for the best, like I said, in this situation. And then came to some other stuff, yeah. AJ Griffin. So apparently, we found out officially why he decided to agree to a buyout with Houston and decided to retire from the NBA. And he says it's to follow Jesus. He's going to be looking to become in a full-time ministry and all that stuff, or ministry. I believe that's how you say it. So yeah, congrats to him. I know a lot of people are follow, but few are called. So yeah, congrats to him. And if that's what he wants to do, he's made plenty enough money to be able to do whatever he wants to do, and it's not a bad thing that he's going to do and follow Jesus. So congrats to him and good luck to him on his future endeavors. And when it came to Jaleel Okafor, yes, ex-Duke player, looks like he is signing a training camp deal with the Indiana Pacers. So most likely like an Exhibit 10. Nothing guaranteed, but if he ends up playing very well, shows out, then I guess he could sign with the team. Already sweating much in this live video. Hopefully y'all enjoy that. So yeah, congrats to Okafor. Obviously remember him from that national championship season, top 3 overall. I even liked the idea of him to the Lakers, but I honestly liked Devin Booker that year even more than him. But even if he weren't on the Lakers, I don't think it would have been good for him in the long run either way. So yeah, he's still a very good player, but he just needs a team to give him one shot, and hopefully that's Indiana. So looking forward to seeing if he can make that team or not. Then the Duke women's soccer team, yeah, I believe they played against SMU the other day and won 3-0, and they are the number 2 ranked team in the nation. So that's really awesome. I obviously have not been following most Duke sports other than basketball, and then now the past couple of years football. So it's always good to get those updates on some of the other high caliber sports like volleyball, soccer, men's and women's, especially on the soccer side, other sports, softball as well, and see that Duke is thriving and doing very well in those sports too. So that's just another sport that I think USC would dominate, especially on the West Coast as well if they had a softball team. But I guess it's UCLA to dominate as of right now, but hopefully USC can gather a couple bit of pennies here and there to start up a new softball team. Then when it came to, yes, the softball team for the women's side on the Duke, yeah, they did sign a couple players from high school. They signed an outfielder in Lacey Martinez, another outfielder in Charisma White, and then a right-handed pitcher in Jordan Parnell. So yeah, congrats to those ladies. Obviously, like I was mentioning before, the Duke softball team just played very well, especially into the tournament. They probably should have went a little bit farther, according to some experts out there, but they did as good as they could. It went pretty far, so nice momentum for them to get a couple of these nice players. I think they were all top 100 players as well in the high school rankings, so that's pretty good for that side. Hopefully they can get a couple more top talented players on that roster coming up this season. And then, yes, the women's volleyball team, they did beat Boston College the other day 3-2 and Syracuse 3-1, which was very cool. So playing very well. I forgot, I think it was Gass or Goss, the freshman. I know she recently won the player ACC Rookie of the Week, something like that, pretty recently, and I think she won it again this last week as well. So they definitely got a very talented young player on their hands, and hopefully, like I always say, they can make some noise when it comes to March Madness or whenever they play their final tournament competition as well. So looking forward to seeing what the Duke women can do. Then the men's soccer team, yes, they did have a nice victory against NC State 2-1, and they're also ranked number 18 nationally in college, which is pretty cool. So they're moving on up, getting a couple of nice victories here and there. I know they had a nice blowout win a couple weeks ago also, so hopefully they can continue this and keep on moving forward. I forget to get this player's position, but he looked like a pretty talented guy from the high school baseball ranks that did commit to Duke. I believe his name is Cannon Mergah, and yeah, he did commit to the Duke Blue Devils, and that's another team as well, the Duke baseball team that did pretty well. They won the ACC tournament. They definitely should have went farther once they got into the College World Series. I think it was like a thing of where they should have hosted or something like that, but they ended up not doing that for some reason, and I guess it kind of played into why they were knocked out pretty early. But hopefully, a lot of guys did come back too, from what I remember, that stayed and didn't go to the draft, and they're adding some more talent. So looks all pretty good here and firing on all cylinders. So good luck to those Duke Blue Devil baseball players. And then speaking of the Chargers news, yes, the other day they did play against the Chiefs, and of course they were in this game, they were leading this game, and of course they ended up losing 17 to 2-10. They could have won, obviously, as I mentioned, and I was just surprised that they still did keep it that close, even though a lot of those players were out. I think Bosa, Slater, Alt were out. Herbert did end up playing. Obviously, he still wasn't as mobile as he could have been. Still took some pretty hard hits, but he did make some plays here and there. Even Lad McConkey had a touchdown, the only touchdown for the Chargers. They had that field goal, and then, yeah, like I said, they had the lead. Even Kansas City lost their top receiver, Rashee Rice, who was on my fantasy team. I was wondering why, like, towards the end of the game, why he had 0 points, and of course he got hurt, like, in that first quarter when Mahomes threw an interception, and then Mahomes tried to make that tackle or help out, but then he ended up hitting Rashee Rice's knee, and it ended up like bending backwards or something like that. So it's even affected my fantasy team because I've been waiting to either put him on injured reserve so I have a free spot to add somebody, or end up dropping him if he's not going to end up coming back this season. But of course, they have not updated anything. He hasn't been put on any injured reserve list. They did already say, like, after the game pretty much, that he wasn't going to be playing in next week's game, but that was all they said, and they said it didn't look good. But now, after some more tests and different opinions, whatever, I guess it might not be as bad, but it's going to ruin my fantasy team. I know I'm 4-0, very happy and very thankful that that's happened, but yeah, it's been by the skin of my teeth, as they say. So I would like a pretty easy win, but now I'm going to have to go to my bench guys, and hopefully they do step up for me as well. And then I think the Chargers did make a little bit of news when the Pistons owner, the basketball team, I believe his name is Tom Gores, he ended up buying 27% of the Chargers the other day, which counted for like $1.5 billion total. And I don't know if that means like he now has stake or more controlling interest in the team. I doubt he's going to try to move the team to Michigan because they already have a team in Detroit. So I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see if he does end up having like say in what they end up doing, and hopefully it kind of is the first couple steps for the Spanos family to kind of leave, especially the top, like his children are okay, I guess, but Dean Spanos, I think is who it is, the main owner. He's kind of pretty bad, and there's like a lot of other stuff that ended up happening as to why that amount of percentage was available to buy, basically. So we'll see what ends up happening, but yeah, a lot of crazy stuff right now, and hopefully the Chargers can turn it around. They did sign safety Tony Jefferson again. I think they signed him like right before the Kansas City game to the active roster, and then they released him. Now they signed him back to the practice squad, so they had to release guard/tackle Braden Daniels. So yeah, they released him from the practice squad. So they say Tony Jefferson is a really key player for them on defense and a nice player to have, but they keep end up releasing him pretty easily and bringing him back. So I don't know. That also means too that the rest of the NFL doesn't want to end up claiming him off of waivers, but I guess he's good enough for our defense. And then, yeah, pretty surprising news the other day. I did find out that my niece, Savannah Alvarez, didn't give me the inside scoop, but apparently she's going to be transferring, or she committed to LAMC. It's like a Los Angeles, I already forgot what it is, but it's a softball team out there at that college, and she's going to end up playing for them instead of for Glendale Community College, which is where she had been at since last season. But I was kind of wondering too, because my sister did update us on some games she's going to be end up playing in the preseason this Friday, I believe, and I think they are in some of my chair coming off, but I think they're going to be back at Glendale. So I don't know if she's going to play there with her old team, with her new team, or she's going to be playing still with that old team and red shirting. I don't know, but it sounded like even on that post, it looked like I said transfer and committed as well to LAMC. So either way, I think I saw like that page of that softball team, and it said like their coach had won like the coach of the year or something like that pretty recently. So looks like she's heading into a nice situation. Obviously, if USC put together a softball team, she'd be number one on my transfer list to go to USC and give me some freaking tickets and all that stuff. Be on campus. But either way, congrats to my niece Savannah. And then also, I think my cousin Jacob, who I did put up like a highlight reel video last week or something like that of him playing with Hart High School, his football team. And I think this last weekend they were playing and he ended up separating his shoulder and it was pretty bad. So he's going to be out for like about 6 weeks, I think. So that was tough news to hear. And I think he was even at that Oregon UCLA game because I'm assuming he's a pretty big Oregon fan because I remember he went up there a couple years ago to watch a game. I don't know if they brought him up there because they were recruiting him, or maybe that's why he wasn't over there too to watch the game at UCLA to support that team and get some nice cheap ass tickets to go to a UCLA football game to watch your team play. Obviously not the same when it's USC because it'd probably be way more expensive, but either way, congrats to him. At least looks like he's getting recruited by Oregon, or at least if that's his dream school, then congrats to him, and hopefully he ends up getting there as a walk-on if he has to, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be hard for him to earn a scholarship, but with high school, like how little games they play, he's probably going to be out for this season, his junior season, so he pretty much has all of next year to get ready, get healthy, and have a strong-ass senior season and get some colleges to look at him, so definitely pulling for him, and good luck, and especially to a nice and speedy recovery for my cousin Jacob Paisano. And then one of the last things to end on was some Lakers stuff. Yeah, it was pretty interesting to see LeBron and Bronny James at Media Day and stuff, taking pictures, hanging out, doing interviews. Obviously, it's going to be history in the making, a father and son playing together like that, especially on the same team. So obviously, from all words and indications, it doesn't seem like JJ Redick or the franchise is going to try to push it to happen, especially in the first game. If it's like a close game, like they're not going to do it. I don't even know if he's going to be dressed out and on the main active roster that game because it looks like he's going to be more focused in the G League. So they might have to bring in another guy who's actually going to contribute right away, especially at a position of need. But either way, it's probably going to happen pretty soon. ESPN will gush all over it, get over it, and then hopefully we can move on to more of the winning ways for Lakers Nation. Even JJ Redick too, I think they said that a lot of people close to him and several people apparently close to him told him not to take the Lakers job, which was pretty funny and interesting. And I think he even said too pretty recently that he wouldn't have taken the Lakers job if it didn't scare him a little bit, that he wanted the challenge, especially to win a championship for this franchise. So I've always wanted him to be on the Lakers as a player, and of course now I have him as the Lakers head coach, which I never thought I'd be saying in a million years. I don't think he would have said that either, but hopefully it doesn't go down in flames and everything ends up working out. But yeah, as of right now, that's all we could hope for a first-time head coach. And then to end off on some miscellaneous news, yes, Tom DeLonge, Blink-182 guitarist and singer, looks like he threw out the first pitch at the San Diego Padres game pretty recently. I think it was like on October 1st. I think that was probably their first wild card game, something like that. So I never had seen if he had done that before in the past, but either way, it wasn't that bad of a throw. It's not like embarrassing and gonna go viral for how bad it was. But congrats to him, and I think even the Padres had advanced, or they won a game tonight, so they're probably more into the playoffs officially as of right now. So I guess congrats to him, and kind of good luck to the Padres, because if it were Dodgers versus Padres, I'm still going for the Dodgers. Sorry, Thomas. But yeah, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. And yeah, like I said, this is probably only going to happen maybe once or so a week, depending on how much news happens for some of the other teams like a Duke, Lakers, and Chargers. Like I said, I was able to get all that in this 20-minute or so video. And usually, like I said, the USC stuff is a little bit more important on this channel, so I'll just do that separately. And like I said, had better production. It probably was a little bit weirder and boring just looking at me and kind of looking down, and I kind of don't even really know what to look at. I think I'm looking at the camera right now, so hopefully I don't look like a fool when I look back at this once it's officially done and uploaded to YouTube. But it's about probably pretty close to 12 o'clock here on the West Coast, so finally going to get some sleep and head on to work pretty early in the morning. So yeah, like I said, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.